Hey, what's up, y'all? Got another knife review for you. This guy is the TS27. It's a TwoSun. It actually has a name. It's called the Zenith. And it's got some goods and some bads, so I kind of want to get in through all of that. First thing that I'll start out with is it's a NightMorning Design. It's a flipper running on ceramic bearings. It's a NightMorning Design. And this ergonomically is fantastic. I mean, it's a big, chunky knife. Don't get me wrong, but fits my larger hands quite nice. Super nice and gemmed thumb ramp. Didn't even really bother with the go forward choil, which I kind of appreciate because I'm not the hugest fan of getting my finger all the way up there. Um, but yeah, kind of a reverse Tonto, but kind of a weird harpoon up there with the thumb ramp rather than way up top here. Yeah, this guy is pretty smooth. No blade play whatsoever. And as soon as you get over that thumb ramp or that detent ball, yeah, this guy just drops closed. It's a super nice knife. This guy's rocking D2 steel, so it's kind of one of their, one of their more budget line, and I'm cool with that. So we got a little bit of kind of complaints, and it's something I've noticed a bit with TwoSun in particular. Um, on most of their micarta knives, they're pretty ragged out of the factory. Um, I have one, the TS85, that was fantastic, but I also have this one and two others that really come super ragged. There's a whole bunch of stuff kind of that would be hanging off over the edges, and it really wasn't super comfortable to hold on to. It just kind of bothered me a little bit. For these guys, I actually ended up sanding them a little bit. I started off with a 300 grit. I actually used a diamond stone for it, but sandpaper is probably better for actually contouring around. But I used a 300 to start with, and then I actually used a 600 after that, and they're a little more smooth than I would like. So, I guess a lot of knife makers probably have that right amount, right around the 300 to 400 is the perfect way to sand these guys. But anyway, did that, soaked it on a whole bunch of oil for about a day to kind of purge off any of the particulates. A lot of them say to use WD-40. I use Benchmade Blue Lube because I have a whole lot and I haven't really used it for much. It worked rather well. I mean, after the day or so for the purging process, kind of wiped them on down, and they were a little oily at first, but everything's kind of worked out, and I do actually like it now. Um, I don't necessarily know if it's a fit and finish thing or if it's just kind of my preference for the linen that they end up using for their micarta. But either way, you can keep that in mind. That they can do some good stuff. They can do some not perfect stuff. But the thing that's the big elephant in the room that I have with this particular knife, and it actually shares that with a lot of their earlier models, is this goddamn pocket clip. It's really not very comfortable. Kind of holds the knife, shoves it back in your pocket because of the angle to actually keeps it flat. And it comes up quite a bit and is pointy. That actually gets you a lot of hot spots kind of right here. And it's kind of the same on any of their other models that use this pocket clip. This one I still have it on. I have another couple of them uh, that I've just basically taken the clip off because it's kind of a miserable experience. I can't really blame that for any of their newer models because almost all of their newer models have either the folded over deep carry clips that are quite good, or they use titanium milled pocket clips that are kind of bespoke to those models. And most of those are pretty good. Some of them are a little thin. Like, you know, you look at it and you're like, all right, cool. That's a gentleman's folder, and it's designed for somebody who's wearing, like, I don't know, a sheet around their waist, or maybe some really thin slacks or something. Yeah, it is what it is. But the actual ergonomics, the blade itself is fantastic. We have kind of a blade stock thickness of around 3.85 millimeters, so it can get a bit chunky, but it's got a decent. I would call that kind of a saber grind. It's not like a full flat from the top, but it kind of starts about halfway down. And this thing just sings through material. I've used this to chop up many a box, and it's a pleasure to use. Outside of this clip, sorry to keep harping on that. It is a quite a long blade. It's about 3 3/4 inch, if I remember right. Let's actually get my ruler at a decent place here. Yeah, I got that basically there at 4 inch 4 there, and it ends. So yeah, it's 3 3/4 inch blade, usable pretty much. He's got steel liners on him. It's not, you know, anything super special titanium wise. It is skeletonized a little bit, at least on one side of it, and I'll show you a little bit better because we're just going to do a quick disassembly of them. Yeah. The handles, not counting the clip, at the largest point they are slightly contoured. Is around 0.6 of an inch or 15 millimeters, right around there. So just slightly thicker than normal, and I absolutely appreciate that. I kind of like the thicker knives myself, but I have the larger hands and the larger pants to put them in. That doesn't really bother me. But yeah, I got my little screwdriver here. This is, you know, typical of what a ton of YouTubers use. We got a Weeha bits, and then I've actually had these iFixit kits for a long time because I do a lot of electronics fiddling and whatnot. So it was really convenient for me to have these for everything else. So yeah, I'll go ahead and take this guy apart real quick. Just kind of show you what's going on the inside. There's the pivot screw. And then, yeah, we got G10 backspacer. It's fine. Makes sense to me because this model also comes in a G10 variant. You got one barrel spacer kind of guy here in the back. And then boom. So yeah, this guy, the side with the liner on it, you got basically no weight relieving whatsoever. But that's fine. You can see where the clip screws screw in there on the other side. We of course got the wonderful blade, and you can see the ceramic bearings and the nylon cages. You can see there's an internal pin that doesn't really have any screws or anything there, as well as that was the back screw in the lanyard hole there. And you can see that it is actually milled out pretty decently here. This guy on the inside actually has a decent amount of rough texture. It was probably sanded at 150 or 200. That gives it a little bit more grip, which is nice. Certainly, there's different preferences for micarta styles. You can get the super smooth style that like the Benchmade Proper or the Civivi Rustic Gent kind of have. And this one's got a little bit more grip to it. Really helps with these more rougher styles because when they get wet, the fabric in there can actually kind of release its tendrils just a little tiny bit and gives you a little bit more grip, which is, you know, always fantastic. But yeah, this guy is certainly a fantastic piece, really useful, a really good user. I might have just a little bit too much oil on the inside here, but that's perfectly fine. But yeah, it was built fantastically well. It's one of NightMorning's uh, one of my more favorite models from them. Uh, I think the first one that I got from him was a TS16, which is it's a neat knife. It's a little bit slimmer than this, but kind of the same blade style. But the particular blade stock on that one is designed a lot like the Benchmade 940, but even more so, where it's just thick as an ox up top, so it's almost axe-like. But it did give me a good taste into. That didn't feel good. I should probably actually get that guy actually tightened correctly. Much better. There we go. Yeah. But yeah, NightMorning has made quite a few fantastic knife designs over the years. This is kind of one of the lowest in the TwoSun family that I've actually come to universally love. It's a fantastic piece, as I keep saying. I really wish there was an alternative to this pocket clip. I might figure something else out for it. It's either that or take it off and try to bend this guy down a little bit. But yeah, heck, for like $30, it's a fantastic knife, and you should probably look for one if you're looking for something of the larger variety. Well, I appreciate y'all watching the video. Like, comment, and subscribe, all that good stuff. And enjoy the rest of your day, yo.